Hey guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another conspiracy theory video, and it's going to be all about the Pixar theory. I feel like this is part of what got me into conspiracy theories in general. I love cartoon-related conspiracy theories. They're not as scary, and they actually are pretty fucking interesting because it's interesting to hear a typical show or movie that you know and you've known since you were a kid could have a different meaning or a different connection behind it. Pixar Theory was pretty popular in 2013, late to the trend as usual, but obviously there have been more Pixar movies released since then that we are going to talk about how they fit into the Pixar Theory. So the Pixar Theory was created by a man named John Negroni. He's fucking brilliant. I think this theory is insane. It's so cool and I'm obsessed with it. And I'm gonna link his original post of the theory in the description box below. And also, I'm gonna link his, updates to, Finding Dory, The Good Dinosaur, and Inside Out, because he did update the theory and see how those plugged in. We're gonna be talking about the original theory, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about Inside Out and how that one plugs in, because I found that one to be the most interesting out of Inside Out, Finding Dory, and The Good Dinosaur. And also, if I would have talked about how all three of those plugged in, this video would be fucking long. Basically, John created this theory with the idea that all the Pixar movies exist in the same universe, and they also all intertwine and connect with each other. So like I said, I'm going to give you the original theory and all of the original movies that Pixar had out before 2013, and then we're going to go back into Inside Out and look into depth with that one. This is a pretty complicated, I mean it's not that complicated, but it's a pretty interesting theory, you gotta follow it, so let's get into it, stay with me. So I'm gonna basically give you the timeline of the Pixar films and how in John's theory the timeline is meant to be. It's not the same as how the films came out, obviously, because it actually starts with the movie Brave. Now, Brave, we know, takes place in the dark ages of Scotland. There's a witch that knows how to use magic to turn humans into animals and make them have human-like qualities when they are animals, specifically bears. We know that Merida's mother turns back into a human, but we know that at least one other bear was created. We are left to wonder and probably speculate that it's probably true that the witch also used magic on other animals, giving them human-like qualities, such as those from Ratatouille. The second Pixar film on our timeline is Ratatouille. So we know Remy learns to cook. This upsets Chef Skinner, so obviously the story of Remy is told and rumors are spreading. We can only assume. I mean, I feel like if there was a fucking rat that could cook, the word would spread. So this word of animal intelligence could have spread to people like Charles Muntz from Up. Assuming that the Pixar theory is true, Charles Muntz heard the news of animal intelligence becoming more prominent, and that's when he decided to create the collars that help dogs talk. And this is important to note, this is the first time we hear of the company BNL, aka By and Large. We'll see BNL throughout the rest of the Pixar theory. The fourth movie on our timeline is Finding Nemo. Nemo gets rescued from humans, so we can clearly see that animals are beginning to fight back. So it seems as though they are gaining more intelligence and they are actually trying to revolt. Then comes The Incredibles. Animals are evolving, but also humans are too, in the form of superheroes and supervillains. In this movie, we can see machines become very, very capable of power and destroying humans. So that leads us into Toy Story. Toy Story is supposed to be set to 40 to 50 years after The Incredibles. This time gap between The Incredibles and Toy Story gives toys the time to gain power and advance. We know that these machines and these toys run on human energy, because in Toy Story, if you're an abandoned toy and you stay abandoned for a really long time, you end up losing your ability to talk and come to life. So in Toy Story, we see the toys rebel against the humans, aka in the form of Sid, and Lotso literally hates humans. So we seem to see, like the animals, the machines as well begin to despise humans and try to rebel against them. Seventh movie on our timeline is Cars. There are no humans or animals present in the Cars films, but we are to believe that they still exist. Maybe there's just not as many of them. because of the places that they go to in Cars 2. They look pretty civilized and everything looks pretty normal. Cars are obviously immensely intelligent and machinery seems to remain dominant. The machines need human energy to run, just like the toys. There's an energy crisis in Cars 2, presumably due to lack of humans. A fuel war starts and they create a new source of energy called All in All, which ironically sounds and pretty much means the same thing as by and large. So the cars eventually lose energy without the humans, which brings us to WALL-E. WALL-E is said to believe to be like 700 years later. Humans live on a spaceship in WALL-E. The only reason that WALL-E is alive and the only machine left to be alive on Earth is because of his fascination with humans. So WALL-E loves learning about humans and he watches old films that he could find and just picks up old like human things, like he's like with a Rubik's Cube and stuff like that. So because of his connection to humans, that's the energy that's keeping WALL-E alive, and that's what sets him apart from the other machines that died on the planet. Now we know at the end of WALL-E, the humans return to Earth and WALL-E plants a tree. And this tree is the tree in a bug's life. So the bugs in a bug's life are creating life forms and colonies, so we can assume that they're just moving on. They have like communities and stuff like that. We don't really see anything with the bugs interacting with humans, but we believe that they are still there, just a lot less of them. The next film on this timeline is Monsters, Inc. My personal favorite. The theory goes that humans have evolved from monsters, or it's a form of bestiality because animals had become so human-like almost. I personally think it's probably makes more sense if the humans evolved due to living on such a radioactive planet after all of this shit went down. So we know in Monsters, Inc. that monsters get their energy source from humans. They get it from them being scared, and later they realize that laughter is more important, but we'll get onto that later. Once again, humans are the source of energy. So you might be thinking, how could the monsters be living and how could they have these interactions with humans if they live so far in the future that humans don't exist anymore? That's when the doors come in. According to this theory, the doors are time machines. The monsters go to retrieve energy through these time machine doors. They go back in time to when humans were alive and thriving, and they go back and find these children to scare them. Now we know Boo obviously gets into the monster world and gets involved with all of that and loves Sully so much. How do you picture her to like just spend her life knowing that this fucking world exists? Like, yes, she's young, but still, like, she knows this world exists. She knows it's not in her head. What would Boo be doing if she knows this entire world exists? She'd probably be spending her entire life trying to figure out how to get back to this monster world and to find Sully. So Boo discovers magic, and that includes time travel, and she travels back in time to the dark ages of Scotland. Yes, we come full circle, and Boo is the motherfucking witch from Brave. This makes a lot of fucking sense, not gonna lie. First of all, the witch loves bears, and bears are the closest animal to representing a monster like Sully. Not only that, but the witch in Brave is constantly using doors to change things around and to disappear. Also, she has this drawing of Sully in her workshop, which is literally Sully. Like, that looks just like Sully. So I find that so interesting. That's the Pixar theory. That's like how it comes full circle and how all of the films are connected and occur within the same universe. What do you guys think? I fucking believe it. But now we're gonna get on to the Inside Out portion of this theory. So Inside Out takes place around the time of Finding Nemo and after Ratatouille. You know that Inside Out, Riley Anderson has joy, sadness, disgust, fear, and anger inside of her head. How it connects into the Pixar theory is thinking about Monsters, Inc. yet again. In Monsters, Inc., at the end of the film, they learn that laughter, which comes from joy, is a much stronger emotion than fear. And Inside Out explains that joy is one of the first emotions that we experience. And joy is a literal light source, so I feel like it just kind of, I don't know, that just kind of connects to Monsters, Inc., realizing that joy and laughter is more important than fear in the form of energy. Not only that, but Bing Bong. So Bing Bong is Riley's imaginary friend and the hot breakup of the film if you haven't seen it. In order for Monsters, Inc. to get this laughter, they're not going to be able to like go dressed as monsters because monsters are automatically going to scare kids. Like, it's probably going to be creepy if a monster tries to make a child laugh. The way laughter could easily be obtained is if they were looking and acting kind of similar to how Bing Bong acts, aka imaginary character, which makes a lot of fucking sense. So basically they're saying that Bing Bong is a monster from Monsters, Inc. and he went to go get laughs, and that's how monsters get laughs now, is through the source of imaginary friends and monsters like Bing Bong. I don't know, I feel like he would fit in very well in the Monsters, Inc. world, so it's pretty interesting. What do you guys think of this theory? It's a little bit crazy. I hope you could follow it. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you believe this theory or if you think it's just coincidences. I think they're too weird to be coincidences, if you ask me. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. I'm always posting really cool shit on there. And if you want to check out my latest video, you can click right here and click right here to subscribe for new videos every single day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!